Hello, I'm Alma Angeles, and you're watching Eagle News International.
And I'm CJ Hero. Here are tonight's headlines.
President Joe Biden warns the number of coronavirus deaths in the United States is expected to surpass 600,000 and urges Congress to move fast on his $1.9 trillion plan to battle COVID-19 and provide economic relief to struggling Americans.
Russian police detained dozens of people as thousands of supporters of the jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny take to the streets across the country following his call to protest against President Vladimir Putin's rule.
I've spoken to Speaker Pelosi.
And Donald Trump's U.S. Senate trial will begin in the second week of February, days after a fresh impeachment case against the former president is transmitted by the House, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says.
And the coronavirus strain that has swept Britain and beyond in recent months could be more deadly as well as more transmissible.
President Joe Biden urged Congress to move fast on his $1.9 trillion plan to battle COVID-19 and provide economic relief to struggling Americans. Let's listen in.
A lot of America is hurting. The virus is surging. We're 400,000 dead, expected to reach well over 600,000. Families are going hungry. People are at risk of being evicted. Job losses are mounting again. We need to act. No matter how you look at it, we need to act. Today, I'm signing an executive order that directs the whole of government, a whole of government effort to help millions of Americans who are badly hurting. It requires all federal agencies to do what they can do to provide relief to families, small business, and communities. And in the days ahead, I expect agencies to act. The American Rescue Plan also includes economic relief for most Americans who are in need. We're going to finish the job of getting a total of $2,000 in direct payments to folks. $600, which was already passed, is simply not enough if you still have to choose between paying your rent, putting food on the table. Over the last year, more than 600,000 educators have lost their jobs in cities and towns. The American Rescue Plan will provide emergency funding to keep these essential workers on the job and maintain essential services. Our recovery plan also calls for an increase in the minimum wage at least $15 an hour. No one in America should work 40 hours a week, making below the poverty line. $15 gets people above the poverty line. And the crisis is only deepening. It's not getting better, it's deepening. Yesterday, we learned that 900,000 more Americans file for unemployment. 900,000. They join millions of Americans who, through no fault of their own, have lost the dignity and respect that comes with a job and a paycheck.
Congress, having already passed two huge economic relief bills, is reluctant. The president's Democratic Party has only a small majority in the House and a razor-thin advantage in the Senate. On Inauguration Day, the 78-year-old Democrat signed 17 actions. He signed 10 on Thursday and another 2 on Friday. The slew of orders has covered top campaign agenda items, including the political hot potato of immigration reform. Biden extended protections from deportation for so-called dreamers, children of illegal immigrants who have grown up in the country.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump's U.S. Senate trial will begin in the second week of February, days after a fresh impeachment case against the former president is transmitted by the House. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Friday. Let's listen in.
I've spoken to Speaker Pelosi, who informed me that the articles will be delivered to the Senate on Monday. Now, Mr. President, we have made good progress in our efforts to determine the timing and structure of the impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump. For the information of all senators, the House managers will come to read the article of impeachment at 7 p.m. on Monday, January 25th. Members will then be sworn in the next day, Tuesday, January 26th. After that, both the House managers and the defense will have a period of time to draft their legal briefs, just as they did in previous trials. During that period, the Senate will continue to do other business for the American people, such as cabinet nominations and the COVID relief bill, which would provide relief for millions of Americans who are suffering during this pandemic. Then, once the briefs are drafted, presentation by the parties will commence the week of February the 8th.
The newly announced schedule reflects a deal struck by Senate leaders to delay the substantive portion of the trial for 2 weeks so that the chamber may conduct other critical business, including confirmation of President Joe Biden's cabinet nominees. The House of Representatives impeached Trump for a historic second time on January 13, just 1 week before he left office. The House members assigned by Speaker Nancy Pelosi as impeachment managers and members of Trump's yet-to-be-named defense team will then be given time to draft their legal briefs. Members will deliberate whether to convict Trump on what the U.S. Constitution describes as high crimes and misdemeanors. Trump was impeached on a single charge of incitement of insurrection for his role in whipping up his supporters during a speech in Washington on January 6, the day a pro-Trump mob stormed Congress and threatened the lives of lawmakers and then Vice President Mike Pence. 5 people died in the violence, including a police officer.
In other news, Florida will require proof of residence for those getting a COVID shot in a push to thwart so-called vaccine tourism, a move experts say could also leave thousands of undocumented immigrants, homeless and low-income people in the lurch. In a public advisory issued on Thursday, Florida Surgeon General Scott Rivkees indicated that applicants must show proof of residence, such as driver's license, utility bill or letter from a bank, in order to be immunized. The decision came after residents of other states and even people from abroad were reportedly arriving in Florida, which currently vaccinates anyone over age 65 with an aim of gaining easier access to immunization. While the state has administered more than 1.3 million doses, the process has been slow and chaotic. Apart from snowbirds, people from northern climes such as New England and Canada who head to the southern state for the winter, Florida is home to a substantial population of immigrants, with 1 in 5 residents born abroad. A study from August by the American Immigration Council showed that around 775,000 undocumented migrants live in Florida, representing about 18% of the immigrant population.
Thousands of Hong Kongers were ordered to stay in their homes on Saturday for the city's first coronavirus lockdown as authorities battle an outbreak in one of its poorest and most densely packed districts. The order bans about 10,000 people living inside multiple housing blocks within the neighborhood of Jordan from leaving their apartment unless they can show a negative test. Officials said they plan to test everyone inside the designated zone within 48 hours in order to achieve the goal of 0 cases in the district. The South China Morning Post said the measures covered about 150 housing blocks with hundreds of police on standby to enforce the lockdown. In recent days, health officials began carrying out a mandatory testing in about 70 buildings in the area, but the government has now decided to test everyone. The lockdown has created considerable confusion for residents. Over the last 2 months, the city has been hit by a 4th wave of infections, with authorities struggling to bring the daily numbers down. Stubborn clusters have emerged in low-income neighborhoods, notorious for some of the world's most cramped housing in the district of Yau Tsim Mong. The area is also home to many ethnic minorities, mainly South Asian Hong Kongers, a community that often faces discrimination and poverty.
The WHO and pharmaceuticals giant Pfizer announced a deal for up to 40 million initial doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for poorer countries through COVAX Global Pool. Take a look.
In this context, I'm very pleased to share that the Pfizer and BioNTech have reached an advanced purchase agreement with the COVAX facility for up to 40 million initial doses of our COVID-19 vaccine. We expect the first doses will be delivered in the first quarter of this year. And we will provide the vaccine to COVAX for these countries at a not-for-profit base.
COVAX is on track to deliver 2 billion doses by the end of this year. This agreement also opens the door for countries who are willing to share doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine to donate them to COVAX and support rapid rollout.
COVAX aims to secure enough COVID-19 vaccines this year for the most vulnerable 20% in every country, rich or poor. In COVAX, funding is covered for the 92 lower and lower middle income economies involved, while for richer countries, it operates as a backup insurance policy. Aimed at pooling the risk and rewards, COVAX has struck agreements with manufacturers for 2 billion vaccine doses.
The World Health Organization said it was too early to draw any conclusions from its mission to Wuhan as to whether the pandemic-19 or the COVID-19 pandemic started in China. Watch this.
The difficulty, I think, and I think we have to say this quite plainly, all hypotheses are on the table. And it is definitely too early to come to a conclusion of exactly where this virus started, either within or without China. There are different observations, and I will call them observations, scientific observations in different parts of the world. Virus been cultured off different surfaces, virus in sewage, potential serology in some places around potentially implicating earlier infection. And all of that's very important because it builds up a picture. This is a big jigsaw puzzle. And you cannot tell what the image says by looking at one piece in a 10,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. You can guess, and you're entitled to your guess, and you're entitled to your opinion, but that doesn't make you right. So I think we all have to, again, we keep saying this, let's step back, let's follow the evidence, let's follow the science. Our team are on the ground, they're having a good experience working with our Chinese colleagues. We're working through the data. The data will lead us to the next phase, where we need to go next to look at the origins of this virus. So yes, it is too early to come to any conclusion. But again, we believe we are making some progress, and we hope to continue to do so in the interest of public health in the future.
The World Health Organization said it had no plans to change its guidance recommending fabric face masks as new coronavirus variants spread because the mutated strains are transmitted in the same way. Maria Van Kerkhove, the WHO's COVID-19 technical lead, said that some of the new variants may have increased transmissibility, but that from studies in Britain and South Africa of the mutations detected there, there's no indication that the modes of transmission has changed. Take a look.
All mutations are somewhat worrisome in the sense that we need to evaluate them properly. Most of these mutations and variants will have no impact on the virus itself, but each of them deserves attention, deserves a robust framework to analyze them. And what we are looking for each of them, and there will be more, is looking at transmissibility, looking at the severity, the disease presentation, and the severity caused by those who are infected with those variants. We should say that if you have increased transmissibility, you will have more cases. I know that might sound obvious, but you'll have more cases, you'll have more hospitalizations, and you'll have more people, an overburdened healthcare system. And in a situation where you have an overburdened healthcare system, you can have increased deaths. And especially in countries that are seeing decreases in transmission, it's really important that the measures that are in place continue to be applied. But as they are lifted, they're lifted in a slow and a steady way. They can't be lifted very, very quickly, or else you will see a resurgence again. The virus likes people, it needs people to circulate between. So we need to put that into context. So in particular, the research that's underway in South Africa and in the United Kingdom are looking at increased transmissibility and why that may be, but also looking at rates of infection among different populations and modes of transmission. And from both of our colleagues in the United Kingdom, but also in South Africa, have no indication that the modes of transmission have changed. Within our guidance itself, it is also worth noting that the use of fabric masks, we recommend a 3-layer mask, and in our guidance materials itself, we have recommendations on the specifications for filtration, for example, what the type of fabric should be for the inner layer, the middle layer, and the outer layer. Not all fabric masks are the same, and so they need to be produced and made so that they provide the right type of protection and source control.
The WHO advised that non-medical fabric masks can be used by the general public under the age of 60 and who do not have underlying health conditions. Meanwhile, it also recommends medical masks for health workers in clinical settings, anyone feeling unwell, awaiting COVID-19 test results or having positive, and people caring for a suspected or confirmed case. They're also recommended for people aged 60 or over or with underlying conditions due to their higher risk of serious illness.
Meanwhile, the Norwegian government announced Saturday a crackdown in the capital region with the strictest restrictions since last March after the discovery of the British coronavirus variant in a retirement home. Only essential shops can remain open, and municipalities will be allowed to close primary schools and put secondaries on remote learning. People are being asked to restrict movements and not to eat meals outside their family. We are putting in place the strictest measures since last March in 10 districts, said Health Minister Bent Høie. In some places, we are going even further than in March. He told a press conference, adding that it will make daily life difficult for many. All public events, indoors and outdoors, are canceled apart from burials. Restaurants will be limited to takeaway services. The measures will remain in force until at least January 31st, following the detection of the British variant in a home at Nordre Follo, 30 kilometers from Oslo.
Belgium will ban non-essential trips in and out of the country from Wednesday in a bid to curb the spread of the highly contagious coronavirus variants, according to Prime Minister Alexander De Croo. The prohibition will run to March 1 and apply to land, sea, and air travel, but will not affect cross-border workers or those with overriding health or family reasons. The announcement comes a day after a European Union summit by video conference, during which leaders decided against barring travel across the EU's internal borders. They instead strongly discourage non-essential intra-EU trips and warned that they might toughen that line in days ahead if the worrying virus variants took hold. The EU wants to avoid a repeat of the height of the pandemic's first wave in March last year, when several member states panicked and closed off national borders unilaterally, triggering travel and economic chaos.
The coronavirus strain that has swept Britain and beyond in recent months could be more deadly as well as more transmissible, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said on Friday. Let's listen in.
I must tell you this afternoon that we've been informed today that in addition to spreading more quickly, it also now appears that there is some evidence that the new variant, the variant that was first identified in London and the South East, may be associated with a higher degree of mortality.
The sobering news came as the UK sees record deaths from COVID-19 following a surge in cases and hospitalizations since the variant was first identified in southeast England in September. The strain has also spread to more than 60 nations, including China, where the pandemic began more than a year ago, according to the World Health Organization.
And the news continues here on Eagle News. We'll be right back.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, gabay natin ang MTRCB ratings sa matalino at responsableng panonood. Sa tamang pagsunod sa MTRCB ratings, ginagawa nating ligtas at makabuluhan ang panonood ng bawat miyembro ng pamilyang Pilipino. Lumipas man ang panahon, hanggang may pamilyang Pilipino, andyan ang MTRCB.
Factual.
We have to defeat the virus everywhere.
Timely information. Balanced, not only in the country, but also abroad.
I'm certain of one thing.
Interviews that people need to know. Watch Aguila Pilipinas! A one-hour newscast of reports coming from regional hubs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Know the important updates in Asia in ASEAN in Focus. Track the latest stories in the provinces in Aguila Provincia. Tune into Mata ng Aguila, the evening primetime news program of Net25. Balanced and objective, Mata ng Aguila covers national and international issues, tackles news on business, health, science and technology, entertainment, sports and human interest features, and current events. And Eagle News International delivers the latest global reports, impartial, accessible, and up-to-date. It brings to fore EBC's rich international scope and access to valuable information streams.
Well, thank you to Detained, our help outdoor attack.
Catch these programs on Net25. You can also watch our news programs through eaglenews.ph and Eagle News Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Ayoko nang magising. Kasi gusto ko lumilipad kayo dyan.
Ang galing eh. Talagang professional yung inyong pagkaka-execute.
Masakit sa ulo tong araw na ito. Yan! Amazing!
Only one spot left sa ating Gen Y Finals. At mukhang hindi papaawat ang ating mga kababayan. Kaya naman abangan ang kanilang performance dito lang sa Tagisan ng Galing Part 2 Dance Edition.
For women in the Lubumbashi Democratic Republic of Congo's second city, a curfew may help fight the coronavirus. But for many, it comes with the dread of burglary and rape. Residents in DRC's economic capital have reported a string of housebreaking and sexual assaults, some by armed men in uniform, since the authorities imposed a nightly confinement on December 18. Take a look.
Ils m'ont demandé de donner l'enfant à mon mari. J'ai donné l'enfant à mon mari. Moi, en croyant qu'ils vont maintenant partir, subitement, ils m'ont dit, enlève de toi-même les habits. J'ai enlevé les habits, comme j'avais peur. En enlevant les habits, directement, l'un des policiers a donné l'arme à l'autre. Il a commencé à passer à l'acte sexuel.
Et nous avons remarqué effectivement que c'est pendant cette période-là de couvre-feu que, voilà, il y a des actes quand même de délinquance, d'appropriation et de violence que nous vivons dans la ville.
Crime is a chronic problem here. hurting the middle classes or poor people in the outlying areas, far more than wealthy Congolese and expatriates who live in high-security villas. In July, local civil society groups issued a report saying that the province of Upper Katanga, where Lubumbashi is the main city, was in the grip of an unprecedented 3-year-old wave of urban crime, followed by robbery, rape, and murder. Whether crime has worsened since the curfew is hard to say. Any evidence is anecdotal in the absence of reliable figures. The nightly restriction was decreed across the country of 80 million to slow the spread of COVID. The DRC, a country the size of continental Western Europe, has recorded about 21,000 cases of the virus since March, mainly in the capital, Kinshasa.
In other news, Russian police detained dozens of protesters on Saturday as supporters of jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny took to the streets following his call to protest against President Vladimir Putin's rule. Putin's most vocal domestic critic called for mass rallies after surviving a near-fatal poisoning with a Novichok nerve agent and returning to Moscow last weekend following months of treatment in Germany. He was arrested at the Sheremetyevo airport and jailed. The first protests took place in the Far East and Siberia, including Vladivostok, Khabarovsk, and Chita, where several thousand took to the streets, Navalny supporters said. OVD Info, which monitors detentions at opposition rallies, said around 50 people were detained in 10 cities. Authorities vowed a tough crackdown, with police saying unsanctioned public events would be immediately suppressed. On the eve of the rallies, Navalny, who is being held in Moscow's high-security Matroskaya Tishina jail, thanked his supporters. Navalny's wife, Yulia, said she would join the protest in Moscow. The rallies, planned for dozens of cities across Russia, are expected to be a major test of the opposition's ability to mobilize despite the increasing Kremlin pressure on critics and the coronavirus pandemic.
Meanwhile, visitors wearing face masks toured the Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts as museums reopened following months-long closure due to the outbreak of the coronavirus disease. The mayor of Russia's capital, Moscow, on Thursday announced a significant easing of coronavirus restrictions, citing the success of the vaccination campaign. Starting on Friday, Moscow will reopen its museums and libraries, while theaters and cinemas will be allowed to accommodate more visitors, according to Mayor Sergei Sobyanin. He said colleges, sports, schools, and children's clubs will resume in-person attendance, while university students will continue studying remotely. However, bars and restaurants will continue to close at 11 p.m., and companies will need to ensure that at least 30% of their employees are working from home. Sobyanin said that over the past week, the city was registering an average of 2,000 to 4,000 new infections a day, significantly less than in late December. The mayor also noted the increasing speed of the vaccination campaign, with more than 220,000 Muscovites inoculated in the city of more than 12 million.
In other news, relatives of 62 passengers and crew killed when an Indonesian passenger jet slammed into the sea cast flowers at the crash site Friday as an investigation goes into why it dropped out of the sky minutes after takeoff. Watch this. have more updates. Please don't go away.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, gabay natin ang MTRCB ratings sa matalino at responsableng panonood. Sa tamang pagsunod sa MTRCB ratings, ginagawa nating ligtas at makabuluhan ang panonood ng bawat miyembro ng pamilyang Pilipino. Lumipas man ang panahon, hanggang may pamilyang Pilipino, andyan ang MTRCB.
Bukayo, merengue, panutsa, yema, at marami pang iba. Talaga namang patok sa Pinoy ang matatamis.
Ang ginagawa lang namin, candy lang po, lollipop. Hanggang sa gumawa na rin kami ng lahat po ng klase ng candies.
Sabi ko nga po, bakit ang hindi ako maggawa ng pastillas? Ay malaking tulong ang panutsa. Yun na nga ang hanap buhay namin dito sa Taal.
Masasabi ko naman po talaga na stable at napakaganda po ng naging pasok po ng flow ng aming pong income.
Ating ding aalamin kung paano mo pwedeng gawin ang mga ito sa sarili mong bahay. Ako po, si Robin Padilla. At ito po ang ulat, Kagapay sa Hanap Buhay.
Totoo ang kasabihang may pera sa basura, lalo na kung magagawa ang iba't ibang bagay mula sa mga recyclable material na inaakala ng iba na itatapon na. May ilang barangay sa bansa ang nagre-recycle ng basura at makikita ang iba't ibang bagay na gawa sa basura. Mga dekorasyon sa bahay, sa mga proyektong ito, nagiging malinis ang kapaligiran bukod sa mayroon pang pagkakakitaan.
Italian prosecutors have opened a probe into the accidental death of a 10-year-old girl who allegedly took part in a blackout challenge on the video sharing network TikTok. The girl died in a Palermo hospital after being discovered Wednesday by her 5-year-old sister in the family bathroom with her cell phone, which was seized by police. TikTok, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, said Friday it had not managed to identify any content on its site that could have encouraged the girl to participate in any such challenge, but was helping the authorities in the probe over possible incitement to suicide. The girl's parents told La Repubblica newspaper that another daughter explained that her sister was playing the blackout game. Blog Cecilia reports that investigators believe that the child had previously taken part in the challenge with the aim of not breathing for as long as possible. Medical experts have warned about the danger of the challenge being taken up by some young people who refer to it as scarfing or the choking game, in which restricted oxygen in the brain results in a high. Time magazine reported in 2018 that between 1995 and 2007, 82 children between the ages of 6 and 19 died in the U.S. after playing the so-called game. Italy's Data Protection Agency filed a lawsuit against TikTok in December, alleging a lack of attention to the protection of minors and criticizing the ease with which very young children could sign up to the video app. The investigation came as Italy announced it had temporarily blocked access to TikTok for users whose age could not be proved definitively. According to TikTok's terms and conditions, users must be at least 13 years old.
The virus-delayed Tokyo Olympics will go ahead this summer, and there is no plan B. International Olympic Committee Chief Thomas Bach said in an interview on Thursday. With just over 6 months to go until the postponed games, doubts have grown about whether the massive international event will be viable, with the pandemic still raging across much of the world. Watch this.
6 months ahead of the Games, the entire Olympic movement is looking forward to the opening ceremony on 23rd of July. I had the opportunity today to speak there with all the 206 national Olympic committees of the world, and they are all fully committed. They are looking forward to these Games. We are enjoying the full support of the Japanese government. Everybody is really determined to make these Olympic Games in 6 months from now the light at the end of the tunnel, in which at this moment we are all still in. But all the prospects are good. We are working hard, and these Games, the first priority will be about to make them safe and secure for all participants. So we are working to prepare for all the potential scenarios we may face in July, August this year. And this is a wide range. So we are putting together a huge toolbox of measures, and then we will decide at the appropriate time which of the tools we need to address the situation. This goes from immigration rules, from quarantine rules, over to social distancing in the Olympic Village, to the question of rapid testing method, to the question of vaccination, to the question of spectators. How many can there be spectators? How will the life in the Olympic Village be organized?
Japan dismissed a report claiming officials see canceling the Tokyo Olympics as inevitable on Friday, as heavyweights the United States, Canada and Australia said they were still preparing for the Games. Deputy government spokesman Manabu Sakai said there was no truth to the report in the Times, which quoted an unnamed ruling coalition source as saying the consensus is that it's too difficult to hold the Olympics. It is the latest report to cast doubt on the troubled 2020 Games, which were postponed over the coronavirus last year, but have been hit by a surge in cases and plunging public support. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga on Friday insisted he was determined to hold the event as proof that mankind will have overcome the virus.
In NBA action, Colin Sexton carried the Cleveland Cavaliers to their second straight win over Brooklyn Nets on Friday, scoring 25 points and dishing out 9 assists in a 125-113 win just 2 nights after posting a career high of 42 points against the same Nets. Sexton once again outplayed Nets big guns James Harden and Kyrie Irving, just as he did in the Cavs' thrilling 147-135 double overtime victory on Wednesday. Cleveland dominated the paint and seized control in the third quarter by exploiting the Nets' porous defense to record their third straight victory. Sexton scored 8 points in the third quarter when Cleveland outscored the Nets 37-24 and forced 8 turnovers. Andre Drummond posted his 13th double-double with 19 points and 16 rebounds, and Larry Nance added 15. Former Net Taurean Prince tallied 14 for the Cavaliers, who out-rebounded the Nets 50-29 to the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse Arena in Cleveland. Kyrie Irving scored 38 points in his second game after a 2-week absence, while James Harden scored 19 points and had 11 assists. Cleveland will try to snap an 8-game losing streak to Boston when they face the Celtics in their next game. That's on Sunday.
David Beckham stressed on Friday that his close relationship or friendship with Phil Neville was not behind the former England women's coach's arrival as Inter Miami boss. Watch this.
That was obviously a tough year for me personally, because I felt that, you know, I always said from day one that I will be a hands-on owner. I will be over all the operations of the coaching staff, the academy system, everything that goes on the field and to do with the playing side was my responsibility. But obviously with everything that's gone on with the pandemic over the last year, it was impossible to be here. My relationship with Philip, you know, like I said, you know, I've known him since I was 15, 16 years old, from a young kid. And I know what he's like. I knew what he was like as a player. I know what he's like as a human being. I know what his work ethic is like. Of course, people are always going to turn around and say, oh, it's because he's your friend. It's nothing to do with him being my friend. You know, I'm an owner of a club with Jorge. Our ownership group don't just employ our friends. We employ the best people, whether it's on the field, off the field.
Well, obviously, I think the reality is that David is my friend, but I think from 2-3 weeks ago, he did become my boss, and I think we have a relationship, or we've had a relationship for 20 and I'd say 90% of my life, where we've been very professional. Yes, our families have been friends, but I think when it gets down to work, we're here to win, we're here to be successful, we're here to build something really great. And I think when people throw about the lack of experience, I always throw back that actually I've got a lot of experience of being around winners, a lot of experience about winning myself as a player, but actually coaching at the very top level in Spain, with Valencia, at Manchester United, and with the England national team getting to a World Cup semi-final.
Neville and Beckham played together for Manchester United and England, with the pair remaining close, having both risen through the ranks at Old Trafford along with the likes of brother Gary, Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes. Yet despite their relationship and how the appointment may be perceived, Beckham, who has been able to take a far more hands-on role in Miami since arriving in South Florida at Christmas, insists Neville is the perfect choice for his Major League Soccer franchise. Neville, who has never held a head coach role in the men's game after 3 years working for England's women, snubbed the chance to lead Great Britain's women's team at the Tokyo Olympics and heads to Miami on a 2-year deal. He will work alongside highly rated former Seattle Sounders sporting director Chris Henderson, who was also unveiled during a news conference on Friday.
And finally, in our news, as Lunar New Year approaches, farmers at Sa Dec Flower Village, the largest flower supplier for Vietnam's southern provinces, is working hard to prepare for the country's biggest holiday. Take a look. Now, this is located in the Mekong Delta province of Dong Thap. The flower village is home to around 2,000 households, which have their main income from growing more than 1,500 varieties, flowers, and ornamental trees for sale. The Sa Dec Flower Village is expected to produce up to 3 million flower pots of all kinds, despite the impact of COVID-19, leading to the decrease of sale of flowers back in 2020.
That's just gorgeous. I want to visit that. I love flowers.
Yes.
Well, that's it for tonight's broadcast, but we're not going to let this day end without greeting our favorite mentor and boss here at EVC, my partner, Alma Angeles. A happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday,
so
Miss
much.
Alma.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some of our staff here.
Oh, thank you. Are we gonna eat this now?
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
So much.
Thank you so
Gorgeous.
much.
You better wish now.
Okay.
Make your wish and make it.
I wish for COVID to go away. Okay, blow the candle, not blow, but fan it.
All right,
there you go. Come here, guys.
A nice
Come
picture
here.
All right, well, before we end our program, as I said earlier, you are well loved. Please watch this.
Oh.
Maligayang kaarawan po, Ka-Alma. We wish you all the very best in this life. Thank you po sa lahat for the support. Enjoy your day and stay pretty po.
Hello, Ka-Alma. I think you really need to hear my Australian accent. I'm kidding. I'm here to greet you a happy birthday. And I hope that you will enjoy your special day with your family and friends, of course. And also, I just want to thank you for being so graceful and patient with us, even though you hear a lot of mistakes when we do co-anchoring and live recording. So, yeah. God bless you always and forever. And good luck to you.
Happy birthday po, Ka-Alma Angeles. Thank you so much for always guiding us. And sa mahabang pasensya, thank you so much po. We wish you always a good health and more blessings from God. See you soon po and happy birthday.
Hello po, Ka-Alma. Happy birthday po. Stay healthy, young, fabulous, and beautiful inside and out po.
On behalf of EBC Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I'm here from Kampong Chhnang. I would like to greet Ka-Alma, ang Wonder Woman ng ASEAN in Focus. Happy birthday po. Stay safe and healthy. I love you po.
Happy birthday, Alma. Thank you very much for the guidance and thank you very much for inspiring us always to do our very best. Please continue to be inspiration for all of us and to all aspirants. AIF will never be the same without you. And because of you, we can always say we live in interesting times. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday po, Ka-Alma. Stay pretty and lively po. God bless po. We love you po.
Happiest birthday po, Ka-Alma. Thank you po for always believing in us, and we want you to know how grateful we are to help you in ASEAN in Focus. You are a blessing to all of us, and you are our forever idol. We love you so much po.
Hi there, Ka-Alma. Truly miss you po. Really miss working with you. I hope you're having a wonderful time with your family on this very special day of yours. And I just want to wish you a happy birthday po. All the best and sending love all the way from Hanoi, Vietnam. This is Ralph Van Dolp and Bai. We live in interesting times.
Happy birthday po, Ka-Alma. Wow, it's your birthday and it's your special day. Well, every day is special with you. Thank you so much po for all your hard work. Thank you so much for inspiring us to be better, for your patience, for your guidance, and for your love for us because we love you also. And my personal wish for you is that may God give you whatever you've been praying for. So stay healthy and stay happy and stay pretty. Again, happy birthday po. Enjoy your most special day.
Well, there you have it. But
there you go.
We actually have more. We're not going away just yet. Please watch this.
Meron pa.
Happy birthday po! Back to you, Tita Alma. Reporting from the United Kingdom, I am Ariel Celestino.
I am Aribel Celestino.
And I am Erica Celestino. We love you, Tita Alma.
Hello po, Ka-Alma. We would like to greet you a happy birthday.
We'd like to thank you for being such a sweet and hardworking person, always devoted to our duties.
Thank you for everything and God bless you po. We love you po.
Ciao po ka-Alma from EBC Milan, Italy. Tanti auguri di buon compleanno po.
Hello po ka-Alma. Happy birthday po. May our Lord God continue to bless you po. Greetings here from Frankfurt, Germany, from the E&I team po.
Maligayang kaarawan po ka-Alma, and in German we say, alles Gute zum Geburtstag. May the Lord God bless you and your family, and I wish you more years to come filled with joy, with success, and especially the health that everyone needs right now. And I hope you're staying safe and enjoy your special day, even though it is a quarantine birthday. I hope we can also see each other in the future in person and I am already excited for that day So, ingat ka-Alma!
Happy birthday po ka-Alma!
Hello po ka-Alma. Happy birthday. We hope to see you soon po and God bless.
Happy birthday po ka-Alma. I wish you a big smile on your pretty face, much joy in your heart, and a life full of blessings. Much love from EBC Bureau, Germany.
Hi po ka-Alma. I would like to greet you for a very happy birthday, and may all your prayers be granted by our Almighty God. We love you po!
On behalf of the Eagle News International reporters in Barcelona, Spain, we would like to greet Alma Angeles a very happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños y te queremos mucho.
From the EBC correspondents here in the District of Mediterranean, we would like to wish Sister Alma Angeles a happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Ka-Alma. Wishing you a wonderful day, and may our Lord God continue to bless you even more in the years to come. Take care and have a great day. Bye.
Hello po, Ka-Alma. From the bottom of our hearts, the team of E&I UK and Europe would like to greet you po a happy birthday. Thank you po for being such an inspiration to all of us. We love you po. Happy birthday po.
Happy birthday, Sister Alma. From Brother Graham here in the United Kingdom, I'd like to wish you a very happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sister Alma. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day.
Bumper. All right, there you have it. Well, you
so
definitely make our lives better and more interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I am CJ Hero. Please be back here on Monday.
We'll see you back on Monday. And as I always say at the end of the day, there remains so much more to be grateful for. Thank you, everybody, for this very nice surprise. Although I knew about this na booking ko. But then I didn't know about the readings. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to me.
Yes, we are going to be celebrating because we live in interesting times.
It is now time to build confidence. Obviously, we reached a stage wherein the situation has affected all aspects of life. We are overwhelmed by the flood of information all around. This has in effect created a sense of uncertainty and put all of us in a vulnerable position. But we must not allow COVID to take away the very way of life of our citizens, nor take away the hope from us that we will overcome this together. There is no such thing as too much caution or too much preparation, and therefore we must be fully prepared. For all of us, the global COVID crisis revealed three fundamental issues that are common challenges. We ask ourselves, how will we be better prepared, provide stronger frontline support? How do we build more robust coordination in all fronts? How do we keep our guard up in the months ahead and balance life in the new normal? And on sufficiency, how do we adjust ourselves to live without the overindulgence of the pre-COVID world? And there are underlying challenges of producing a vaccine, of boosting the post-COVID economy in the long term towards a future of global sustainability. Fighting COVID is now a global social responsibility, not only as citizens of your own countries, but as citizens of the world. It takes leadership and sacrifice and discipline from all of us. It is often said that in times of crisis, the true character of a person is revealed. We will together show the world our character. Have faith in each other, and wherever you call home, let's re-emerge stronger and better. We've learned many lessons, and next time around, we hope to improve and take crisis communication to a whole new level. This is all I have for the English language summary of the daily press briefing for today. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a very pleasant afternoon. Please keep tab of the news and the announcement over the weekend. So hope for your full cooperation until then and beyond. So thank you very much. Sawasdee krap.
This is Net 25, a commercial UHF television station owned and operated by the Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, transmitting on a 50 kilowatt output with NTC permit number BSD-0184-2020 REN, authorizing this station to operate until July 12, 2023. Net 25 studios and transmitter are located at number 25 Central Avenue, New Era, Quezon City. Net 25 is headed by the following personnel duly licensed by the Professional Regulations Commission and the National Telecommunications Commission. Engineer Armando C. Bonifacio Jr., PECE number 838. Engineer Bernard N. Pangulayan, PECE number 869. Engineer Randy A. Velasco, PECE number 555, with first-class radio telephone operators, Modesto V. De Vera, 96-1 PNCR-18494, Fred C. Moliena, 93-1 PVI-6551. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Net 25 signing off.
Bayang magiliw, pero sang silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay.